Hello, everyone. I'm the Fiery Diva, and welcome to the Hot Flash Room. Today's commentary: Stay in the field. Now, why this commentary? Well, like all other groups, we must never forget, right? Even your president, he gets up and he capes for other groups, and he makes it plain that we shall never forget. That's one thing I've got to agree with the president on. We shall never forget. But that's kind of a catch-22 when it comes to black people. When we talk about all the atrocities, all of the hardships that we endured in this country, well, we get labeled as whining, unappreciative. Just forget about it. It's in the past. Isn't that what we hear all the time? I know I have. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I want to go to this clip. You know how I do. I just want to tell you that the reason I want to do this commentary is because the town in which my mother grew up, my grandfather, my mother's father, family grew up. Okay, they're making this big deal on the news. It is huge. They're going to have, they're going to have communities. They're going to build small communities. We all know who those communities are for. And they're going to have all kinds of shopping centers. Oh, it's going to be a big deal. And they're just all over the news. My history, our heritage completely destroyed. Now, they're being real nice, trying to be modest about it. They're saying that, a family that's been there for a long time, well, they're a little concerned about it, and but they wouldn't say the family's name. Why? Why not say the family's name? But they wouldn't say the family's name. But my family has a lot of history there, where they're doing all this massive infrastructure. It's just incredible. And this is what gets me, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to have the prices. Well, they already have the prices marked up so high, where my children, my relatives' children, will never be able to afford there, which is their intent, of course. And they say, oh, well, when you say they, who is they? When we say they, and you ask that question, you know exactly what we're talking about. Hit dog holler. But I want you guys to listen to this clip. Now, I want you to pay attention. Now, this clip was back in 1967. 1967. And so don't let anyone shame you into saying, oh, well, that was so long ago. That was a long, long time ago. Okay. A lot of things happened a long, long time ago, but there are commemorations all over the place for these particular tragedies. But black people, you be quiet, shut up, and stay in the field. Okay, let me go into this clip because I'm getting fired up already, ladies and gentlemen. And it's 4 minutes into the commentary. It's only supposed to be 10 minutes. Okay, I don't know what direction this is going in. I got a feeling it's going to go over 10 minutes. I try not to go over 10 minutes. I try to be considerate of your time. But I want you guys to hear this clip. And this was a couple out of Starkey, Mississippi. Of course, it happened right here in Alabama as well. Okay, hang on. This work hard. He work hard. My boss man came along. He says, work hard. He work hard. My boss man came along. He says, Mary Jane. I said, sir. Says, I say, when you wash, I
I said, I watched last night. He said, I don't want you to do that no more. That's my agent, you know. He said, every Friday morning or Friday evening, you wash. And let all the children stay there with you until you get through. When you get through, then y'all go back and be away. Now, the agent was mean, some of them was mean. They wanted to hook the colored people. And that kind of white man come along. He says, hey, but you ain't in the field yet? He just had started applying. He said, yes, I'm just not going to eat my dinner. God damn it, you ain't doing a goddamn thing. He says, God damn it, ought to take this damn stick and frail the hell out of you. And he said, no, he said, if you frail the hell out of me, goddamn, I frail the hell out of you. Make me feel bad if I was under them, you know, how mean it was to treat us like that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what they're talking about is the treatment of the sharecropper. And that is a story that I've heard coming up as a child. In fact, my uncle shared a story with me, and I'm going to share it with you all today. The same property that they're on the news talking about, I mean, just yesterday, it'll probably be today as well. But just yesterday, they were just bragging and talking about how wonderful this is going to be. No, there's some history behind this land, okay? There's history. But my uncle told me that the sharecropper, and by the way, my mother, she told me she remembers living in this house because sharecropping, you know, that was just modern day slavery. When the slaves didn't have anywhere to go, when they didn't have any money to build anything, you know, that little word called reparations. Well, wait a minute, let's go back. Let's talk about 40 acres and a mule, okay? Yeah, we all know what happened there. Well, they didn't have that, okay? And so now, here we are. Here we are now, and we're still in the field. We're still in the field, basically. Really, we are, literally. But my uncle told me that they lived on this property, and the sharecropper, and he called the sharecropper's name. And he said that my grandfather wanted my uncle to go to school. And my uncle had a third grade education. And the sharecropper told my grandfather, he called him by his last name. He said, you either get that boy out in the field or you get off my property. Yes. Now my uncle is still alive and kicking. That hasn't been that long ago. That's the point I'm trying to make. And so this is what gets me. I mean, I hear a lot of things, you know, I see things, I read a lot, and you're watching television and you have black people, and I love my brothers and sisters, I really do. And I mean, if you feel offended by this commentary, feel free to leave. I mean, you've got many, many options. Feel free to take it, okay? I'm just speaking my truth. I'm speaking the truth. Something I could not say on radio. And you know what? That was the best thing. And I knew that was the best thing because now I can speak freely to my family. But that was the best thing, ladies and gentlemen, because here's where we are right now. We are so, I mean, just dumbfounded, dumb with shock. You can't believe, God, I cannot believe this person did this to me on the job. I can't believe the boss sided with them. I can't believe this person is stealing. This person been stealing for years, and no one's saying it. Okay, I mean, I'm using this just as scenarios. Okay, these are scenarios only. Okay, police officers will say that. Oh, I can't believe they treated me this way. I can't believe they were so aggressive. I can't believe that they were this way. Okay, now go back to that clip. Go back to that clip. Where do you think these children were? Where do you think these children that look like what my elder referred to as agent? What do you think? Where do you think these children were? Do you think they didn't witness this? You don't think they seen this? Now keep in mind, this is in 1967, right? Okay, so how old would these children be? Do the math. Okay, let's think about it. This is what they were accustomed to seeing. So what? I mean, of course, because I was schooled by one of the elders years ago. When we were in school, back in the 80s, 90s, okay, I aging myself, which I don't mind. Back in those times, uh, we thought, okay, well, yeah, well, that's a long time ago. That was a long time ago. That was in the past. The reality set in when you start seeing things, as a child, when you have a family member that faced expulsion just for having a little marijuana, okay? But you've got another guy, uh, a different race. He comes to school drunk, had alcohol in his locker. Did he get expelled? No, he did not. He didn't get expelled. He went to rehab. However, this other guy, this other student, had to go to an entire different school system. He faced total expulsion. When you start seeing little things like that, and then you start on a job, you start working this job, right? This is your first time now. I mean, I'm a country girl, unapologetic, a country girl. So I'm working in town now, and you see, we're all the black people. We're all in the back making burgers, but you have the pretty girls, the pretty white girls. They are automatically cashier. They were not on any burgers at all. They would automatically come in, and they would come in making more than us. And we were like, okay, what's going on here? But it all comes back. It all comes back. So the commentary today is that don't you forget. Don't you forget. Because that's the problem. We have denied our children of their history. And it's not the white man's fault. I will give him that. It's not his fault. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're educated now. And we can educate our own children. We can teach our own children. Okay, you remember that critical race theory? Okay, Diva wasn't ever with that. I wasn't ever with that. Because I know all about Rosa Parks. I know all of and I know she wasn't the first one not to give up her seat. I know about Martin Luther King, carving the peanut. I know all about Carver and all the different things he did with the peanut because those are the only thing they're going to teach you anyway. They're not going to teach you that he was castrated by his slave master so he wouldn't get his daughter and wife pregnant. Those are things that your children will never know. So those are things only we can teach them anyway. But going back to the first job, okay, why is it that they're ringing up sandwiches now? This is real. They would ring up sandwiches for us to make, and then they would cancel them out. You know why? And it was a white boy on my job that put me on it. He said, this is why we do it, because some of us, we need gas money, and everybody does it. Really? that blew my mind, ladies and gentlemen. It did. Now keep in mind, I'm just 16 years old. But this is what they were doing. He called the lady's name that was notorious. And I mean, she smiled and she had favor with management and everything. Yet, let us try to take a doggone burger out of there. You'll get written up. So those were the little things that I noticed. And so that's why I wanted to do this commentary. We shall never forget. We shall never forget. So let me ask, so this is the ideology to this very day that they have. Stay in the field. Meaning, don't you ask for any promotions. Don't ask to elevate and advance in the company. And if you do, we've got one already. One is enough. That is the God's honest truth. I mean, I can't keep it any realer than that. It's just like, okay, now I'm in business. I'm in business now. Same thing. Everybody's bragging about this big deal that they're doing in my mom's home, near my mom's hometown. Okay, and so my question is, I know that they're going to have funds available. I know that they have to do like community giving, right? So I wonder if any black nonprofits will be a part of that community giving. I doubt it very seriously. Okay? Because now, yes, they call you a minority. That's what we're supposed to be, right? Of course, I don't classify myself as that. Define the word minority. Please look up your Webster dictionary and see what that means. Okay, I keep hitting the bomb. I keep hitting that fire bomb because when I'm on fire, baby, I have to hit that button, doggone it. When I'm in a whole new level. And this hot flash room is very, very hot. Like I said, if it gets too intense, because that's what a hot flash is. A hot flash is very intense for a minute, then it goes away. So is this commentary. And 15 minutes in this commentary, my goodness, I'm way, way over 10 minutes. You know, it's only supposed to be 10 minutes. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Stay in the field. That's what they want, mentally and physically. Stay in the field. They want you to have that field mentality. And then lo and behold, if you're the type to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to stay over here with my people. And I'm going to educate my people. You're a racist. You're a racist. What? Okay, what kind of power do I have? What power do I have? Okay, I mean, you guys are educating your people, right? I mean, you're making sure that everything remains in your hands. Okay, that is why. That is why everything is controlled. Everything is controlled because racism works collectively. Okay, it can't work with just one person, right? It works collectively. It's a collective effort. Okay, you make sure that you know that the buddy system, everything stays within your race and your family. And so when you get black people that are saying, okay, well, you know what? We know that you're not going to give us anything. First of all, we know that. You made that clear. Okay, reparations and all that kind of stuff. And we know that we don't have big officials that's caping for us and saying, hey, one thing about black people, we will never forget black people. We will never forget the way that we treated your forefathers and your grandfather. Keep in mind that clip. What did I tell you about that clip? That clip was in 1967. That's not that long ago. We'll never forget. But yet we're supposed to just be quiet and stay in the field. So you got a choice. Either you stay in the field or you move on. Okay? You stay in the field and you try to make a difference in your community. Okay? It starts at home now. You know, you see that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Fiery Diva. And this is the Hot Flash Room. And there's nothing hotter than a hot